Hello my designers, welcome back to the class. So today we're going to be moving on to the task number 2, and that's going to be the idea generation. So I hope you guys haven't been too lazy and was able to actually complete all of the task number 1, which was the artist research, and you guys also need to make comments about what technique is the artist actually using within the design. That needs to be completed first. So using the task that you guys have completed, we are going to be creating something like this, which is the thumbnail. So I want you guys to focus on the keyword. That's basically what we're going to be creating. So from this exemplar, we can actually see that the student has done the artist research page, and straight after that, use the idea, for example, like that ripped technique from the Weeknd's album cover, and then create a thumbnail based on that. Now you're not going to be just doing the thumbnails and draw the idea that you guys want to be creating. Another thing that you guys need to do is, just like what you guys have done for the artist research, you guys also need to be able to explain the designs that you guys have done for the idea generation using these terms. So that is composition, effects, conventions, principles of design, color, and tone. Those are some of the examples that you guys can mention within the thumbnails that you guys will be creating. And perhaps just before you actually start this activities, what you can do is you can get a spare piece of paper and actually start drawing some thumbnails that you could be actually using for your task. So maybe you can get a piece of paper and start creating the thumbnails that you could be using. Think about whether you want it to be a landscape or a portrait, or you want it to be a perfect square. It's totally up to you. But my little advice is, because you could be making mistake on an A3 piece of paper, I strongly advise you guys to actually create some thumbnails before, draw on it, and then what you can do is you can cut them out and then put it onto your A3 page. I mean, alternatively, you guys can actually create this with Photoshop as well if that's what you guys want to do, so you can do it digitally. Now, when you guys are describing the artwork or the ideas that you guys have created, I want you guys to use these terms to actually explain your work. So these are the languages of design, as you can see in the picture. So basically the elements of the design and also the principles of design. As you can see from the list, there are things such as line. Maybe if the artwork that you are analyzing or something that you are using is based on the line, maybe you can use that term within your explanation. Or alternatively, you can also even use shape, form, color, texture, positive and negative space, value. Those are the elements of design, and I want you guys to be using these terminologies. And on the right hand side, we have the principles of design. So these are some things such as the pattern, contrast, emphasis, balance, proposition, and the scale, harmony, and the rhythm. So is your design going to be very contrasting, like this one over here? So you can see that an image has been contrasted against a different tone background, so your positive space is popping out for the viewer. Or is it going to be something like a proposition? So something actually pops out within the scene with the scale. Or it could be something like an emphasis, where you have majority of all the little design that you have done in one color, but one thing that pops out is going to be another color, so that one actually pops out from the scene as well. Now I will share those languages of design and I'll put it onto the post for you guys so you guys can actually see it as well. Alternatively, you guys can just type up principles of design or elements of design in Google, and you will be able to get those information as well. So straight after that, what you're going to be doing is, so you do your design, so you draw your thumbnails, and underneath it or on the side of it, these are the explanations I want you guys to be doing. So as is mentioned in the instructions, you will use elements and the principles of design language on your own work as well. So I'm just going to read out the first example for you guys. So this was actually the one from the idea generation page of the past year student. And basically, this is how I want you guys to explain it. So it says, I will be using the ripped effect. So I'm already mentioning the convention that I'm going to be using from the inspiration number 4 that I've done in the artist research. I want to use a dark background to make the photo and the gap between the ripped paper stand out. So that is the positive, negative space, using that contrast at the same time as well. So by actually mentioning those things such as the dark background and etc. and the positive, negative space, contrast, you are already talking within the language of design. So this is the to-do list for your task number 2. So the first thing that I want you guys to do is to create at least about 6 to 10 thumbnails of your ideas. And after that, I want you guys to explain each of the thumbnails, ideas that you guys have created with the languages of design. So that is things such as the conventions, technique, compositions, and make sure you guys are using those languages of design as I've mentioned before. And after that, you're going to be creating a layout and an A3 piece of paper. You're more than welcome to create that as a digital version, or you can hand make it. That is totally up to you guys. Just make sure it's an A3 piece of paper. And guys, just before we end the video, I just wanted to show you guys this Teams page. If you guys have any questions about the design work that you are doing at the moment, make sure you email it to me and show it to me. Or alternatively, you guys can actually go to this Teams page, and what you can do is go to the class discussion. So on the top left hand corner, and you guys can post up your work so you guys can get feedbacks from me, and also you can get it from your peer as well at the same time. So thank you for watching the video. I hope that was really helpful for you guys. Make sure you guys are completing the work at the time that is given. Thank you.